Some Native Americans owned slaves. Some Native Americans.
Thank you for the invitation on the situation on us needing to be more historically accurate in the historical events. So let's get accurate, buddy. In 1682, the gradual process of change from the status of Indian servitude to that of the Indian slavery was completed. The Virginia Act of 1670 had decreed a condition of slavery for all Indians imported into the colony by sea. Wait a minute. So where was these Indians coming from, buddy? But the great body of subject Indians were natives of the country. Wait a minute. Such Indians remained servants up to 1676, when at the beginning of the Indian War. All right. One of Bacon's laws made all Indian captives slaves. But what Indians was these? The act doubtless referred to Indians imported from the West Indies or Spanish South America. So who was these Indians? What did they look like? Let's go check that out real quick. Right here, we're going to this manuscript right here by Sir Francis Drake. And this is the depiction of what those Indians look like coming from South America and the Caribs. Let's look at the next page just to show you that these people were the Indians. And yes, those are afros on their heads. Right there, we're going to jump on down. All that's in Spanish, but we're going to look at it right here. It says the Indians coming back from the hunt bring wild pigs as food for their wives after they have given birth to their children, saying that such meat is the best and most nourishing to be found in the Indies. And we go back to what these people look like. Boom, you see it? Boom, but let's keep going. This is going to be a dual-edged sword. The statute of the year by which the change was effected provided that in the future all Negro, mulatto, or Indian slaves in all courts of jurisdiction and other places within this dominion shall be held, taken, and adjudged to be real estate and not chattels, which I'm showing that y'all was properties, not chattels. You was not owned forever. But the next sentence is the kick. As a part of real estate property, slaves were subject to taxation. Wait a minute. Guess what? That means the slaves was getting paid because they had to pay taxes. So what you talking about? Nobody wasn't making no money back then. I said it would be a dual-edged sword, but the final one I want to bring out is real crazy. Check this out. Until the issue was resolved, enslaved people were taxed as persons rather than as property. All right, you see, people were getting taxed all the way up to 1835. Frequent attempts were made in various colonies to check the importation of Negroes by levying import duties. At times, Indians as well as Negroes were included in these laws. Now check this out. In their enactment, it seems probable that the colonial legislators had a double purpose: to shut out undesirables of both races and to prevent the importation of Negroes in the guise of Indians. So what did they just tell you right there? Negroes was disguised as Indians. If the modern Native American man today is indeed the Indian of the past, how could the Negro look like him? Well, it's quite simple. It's because these people were Negro-like people. And the people you call Native Americans today are not those people. So guess what? It makes sense that the Indians was in slavery because they was looked down upon as Negroes too. And we can further prove that. if you want to do a part 2. But my thing is, you sat there in that video, my boy, and said some people were slaves. Some people were chattels. Some people was this. Some people were that. But you failed to say the Indians were slaves. You tried to exalt the Native Americans as these positive, peaceable people that done no wrong. But they had no error, but they were slaves too. But it comes to find out that those Indians that were slaves were actually Negroid type people. So you need to be more historically accurate with what you're saying too, buddy. And that's a close.